know, when you are cutting bales or prepping bales, you can see this is sort of the difference between a bale that hasn't been prepped and a bale that has been prepped. Mm-hmm. And there's a million ways of doing it, but we would take a chainsaw and oftentimes we cut a string, so then we save those that straw for mixing our mud. So we're going to drywall and then blowing 12 inches of cellulose, which is R38, R40 they say. Laura and myself and this other fellow from Fort Collins went down and shared our knowledge of straw bale with a Mexican community, and they shared their knowledge of the pallets with us. You basically stack them together, nail them up, and they're pretty sturdy all by themselves, but once you get some mud in them, the straw clay mix, and then it's a sound deadener and it's more mass. Because I really think it's going to heat up with all these windows. So I've got tons more mass.
If you are facing something that's going to take a little bit of time to dry and you might be risking some mold growth, if you dissolve a small amount of borax, like 20 mule team borax laundry booster, in hot water the night before and get a solution of that and add it to the water that you're going to mix your plaster or your adobe bricks or your straw clay with, that'll help cut mold. And there's some good examples of sort of here's a mix without it and here's a mix with it. It really does help.
Usually a box beam has a OSB on the bottom, the LVLs or the glue lambs, and then has an OSB on top. And when we went around with the infrared cameras, we saw leaks at the joist and box beam level. So I left the OSB off the top, and when they put the cellulose into the attic, it's going to go right down. It's going to form this all the way around and go down. So we've got insulation, good insulation, another insulation. So it's all continuous. It's all continuous. 2x4 with OSB. That's the post around the whole building. So it really, I believe it saved on lots of wood. And because the OSB is just little chips left over and 2x4s. And they're at each window, and we spaced them out 9 inches from the windows so that we could get this rounded effect. It lets heat in from the sun, but in the summer would reflect the heat out. And of course we did the overhang so that in the summer the sun never comes into the house, but in the winter when the sun goes down in the sky it'll come way back into the house. We installed an HRV, which is a heat recovery ventilator. This pipe here goes into the kitchen and takes stale air out of the house and runs it through here and then comes up here and leaves all the heat and sends the air this way. And the air comes out of here and vents to the outside. This tube comes from the outside and brings fresh air in, goes up to the top, comes down across here, filters and collects the heat off of the warm air that's leaving and sends it out this tube into the bedroom. So you get this hot stale air going out of the house here and the cool, and it keeps the heat.